dollar, that's what I need. And if I share with you my story, would you share your dollar with me? Bad times are coming, and I reap what I done sow. Well, let me tell you something, all that glitters ain't gold.
All the beautiful places settlers steal. All the beautiful places settlers steal to make their vacation homes real. Sharp blue skies, water lapping at rocks, powder clouds, stars up so high. Inside a moonlit carpet sky. Moss on trees, I ain't even seen trees like these. Sails waving in with soft brush of ocean breeze. Clear creeks, massage manicured delicate feet. Four-legged relatives carrying ancestors' messages. Houses for one with yards for none. On top of sacred sites with stolen daughters and stolen sons. Mama Earth's water squeezed and choked from Mama's tit, lifted and consumed, extracted for oil and gas with deadly, bloody drill bits. All the beautiful spaces that settlers steal. Come on, let's be real. After they've destroyed all they already have, they searching for new spaces, leaving roads and towns in rubble after they discover something new to steal and tear down. All the beautiful spaces that settlers steal so they can make their vacation homes real. This poem cast from a povertyskola goes out to all the First Nation relatives cut and ripped from all over Mama Earth behind this shit. Today, focusing on the settler town they call Bellingham. Ferndale, Linden, Blaine, and all the surrounding towns. Bellingham, a bucolic town like so many other towns in occupied Turtle Island, washed and erased of its herstories of First Nation genocide, removal, murder, and reservation terror. Now occupied, stolen, and settled. The Lummi, Nooksack, Samish, and samiahoo territory filled with rich white people and billed by the tourist extractive industry as one of the best places to play, best places to retire from the capitalist mire because of its beautiful landscapes and multiple clean waterways and close proximity to rich people's sports industries like skiing and snowboarding and hiking and REI all day, motherfucker. Lewis Washington, 11 years old, half-breed Indian, runaway from school. Solis Allen, 10 years old, half-breed Indian, runaway from school. Yeah, and so many more. From the incarceration nation, the sheriff's log of the settler colonial jail in Bellingham in 1885. A list so long it couldn't even make one PDF on your digital street. Yeah, because what is barely, if ever, spoken in the best paced to play in tour guides and chambers of capitalist commerce is the violent and brutal genocide known as boarding schools that existed in this stolen territory. The fake treaties, land theft, the bullying and violence, the incarceration and abuse, the fake criminalization, and the lies of children like Louis and Solis and so many more who would try to go back to their baby mamas and their families and their villages from the dangerous, sick, racist, white supremacist missionaries, schools filled with pedophiles and predators known as missionaries, charged with killing the Indian and saving the man. For 5 consecutive generations from roughly 1880 to 1980, Native children across the U.S., United Snakes that is, were taken from their families and sent to residential schools. There were at least 5 of those in this part of stolen, so-called Pacific Northwest Turtle Island. In addition to the brutality and the sick violence of boarding schools, was the violence against all peoples of color trying to live and work, much less survive, in this town alone. In 1907, a mob of 500 white settlers beating, terrorizing, and kidnapped over 200 South Asian workers to, quote, scare them out of town, which in addition to the ongoing and brutal attacks on Chinese, Japanese, migrante peoples, fueled the codification of a multitude of anti-Asian legislations. Settler laws. The implicit and explicit approval and enabling of slavery by following the Dred Scott decision that said descendants of the torture called chattel slavery could not be citizens of the United Snakes. That's Bellingham, so-called Bellingham, Washington. Police have moved us multiple times, said Autumn, one of the powerful, ruthless radio reporters and houseless survivors of a campaign to sweep and harass every houseless person out of so-called Bellingham. One of the many reasons that this houseless mama and my warrior village from Homefulness, Mutialu and Tibu and Momii and Israel and Akil and Amir and so many more were invited up to this settler town with its bloody racist herstory to help poverty scholars up here launch a homefulness project. Hi, my name is Polly and I'm from the Lummi Nation. In 2021, we were first invited up and we did a research investigation. That's poor people-led research, not AKKDemia family. That's us poor people talking to each other about our lives and our terrifying struggles to survive. And the findings of this research confirmed the sick violence of settler genocide. Over 62% of the houseless population getting swept, holding on by a thread, struggling with addiction, homelessness, and poverty in so-called Bellingham and nearby towns were the first peoples of this land, upon whose lands we're all standing, vacationing, skiing, snowboarding, stealing, corpse raping, poisoning, and hoarding. They are closing the only warming shelter in the snow. Formerly houseless poverty scholar resident of Bellingham, mama of 2, poverty scholar and poor magazine reporter, Sin, shouted to me in a poet's writing workshop. It's so much violence, she trailed off. All the beautiful places settlers steal. Yeah, there's no compassion in capitalism. In a place known by colonizers for the best place to play. In the powdery, snow-covered mountains near the Canada border, as people drop thousands of dollars in order to have a ski trip. On stolen land built with stolen lives. How is there any room for the people who are removed, or even your own people who don't make it in your hamster wheel success model? There has never been any room in the settler colonial terror myth called the Americlan dream for any of us they stepped on to build it. All the beautiful places settlers steal, and all the people who had to die to make their vacation homes real. This can't be fixed with more corporate development, affordable fake-ass housing, tiny homes that actually aren't homes, politics, or any more settler laws. It can only be fixed with reparations, unsold Mama Earth, land back to First Peoples, and truth commissions for generations of their settler time. Buck up, love up, group up, family. We have just begun bringing homefulness Bellingham into life.
I'm looking for somebody come and help me carry this load. I need dollar, that's what I need. Hey, hey. Well, I need dollar, that's